Okay, hello everybody. Tonight on VF Down Under, we are talking about Wicked as They Come. Abs. um, I'd just like to start tonight's discussion by saying that my partner actually took the book away from me and counted his abs just to see what kind of pack he had going on. Yeah. I think it was aggravated by the fact that I kept complaining about the book, so anyway. Fun times, fun times. All right. Anybody got drinks tonight that
Yes.
they would like to share?
I'm drinking bourbon for the first time.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
am drinking Nepenthe Sauvignon Blanc at Lake Hills.
Naomi?
I just have lemonade.
Lemonade!
Lemonade.
We'll pretend that it's got vodka in it. It's all good. I, of course, have a tiny one.
Ooh. Tiny white.
Is there any other kind for me? No, because it would go to waste. All right, guys. So let's start. Beck, do you want to start off telling us what you thought about the book? Just a general overview.
Okay, well, I read the alt because I couldn't get the other one.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
sorry?
Well,
read
I did
the
read
alt.
the alt as well.
I read
Oh, I've read both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you find
That's
you're not
all right.
alone.
Well-
That's all. So we'll skip over
Well, Mel and I
Wicked as
talk
They
about
Come.
Wicked as They Come.
And
then
then
we
we
get
get
all
back
to
to that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the Hangout, and from my opinion of what I saw on there, I'm kind of glad I didn't read it.
Oh, I couldn't. I did not like it. I mean, the world was okay. The world building was good, but Criminy, I just did not like him at all, and it just sort of ruined the whole thing. He just seemed like a jerk. He seemed really patronizing, and it just drove me nuts. It's like whenever she wasn't so focused on him, whenever the book wasn't focused on him, it was quite good. But every time he was there, he'd do something that would just annoy me every single time. I'm like, what? I mean, it had this thing where we talked about, her past was mentally abusive and was very controlling and steered her the way she wanted to go. And I'm like, you're not doing much better. Okay, he's better than your ex, but he's not.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not alone with that, because that's exactly how I felt about it. I was like, you've gone from one situation where you keep saying you've learnt from that and you don't want it again. It feels the same.
Yeah. I just wanted to just stop it. You're a jerk. You don't tell her the truth. You just kept not telling her anything. And the girls in the hangout were saying, oh, well, she had a choice she could have left. Really, no, she couldn't have left. She was stuck there. It was her best choice. She couldn't go out into the world and get eaten by vicious animals or live in the city where she'd probably get eaten by rats and starve to death. So she really didn't have much choice.
Like a semblance of a choice. It looks like a choice, but it's not.
Yes, it was the better of the two bad options, yeah.
It's couched in this whole, but I've called you to me and you're my perfect mate kind of thing. And it's like,
I hate
that
that.
doesn't make it okay.
Yeah. It's just like, But yeah, the little stories that it went through, because it was sort of an adventure story, that was quite all right, but just could not stand.
And I'm sort of the opinion that he's so desperate to be with her because she's his perfect mate. Why didn't he go live in her world?
Exactly. They had the option, but oh no, I would not live in that world. That world sounds horrible. I'm like, everything wants to kill you. The cities are disgusting. I'm like, no. Quite happy in this world.
Naomi, what about you?
I quite enjoyed it, more to the fact that it was such a nice, easy read. Yeah, there were problems, major character problems with Crimini himself, but I quite enjoyed the world and her. Like, I feel like it would have been a better story if they just didn't have a love story. Like, he was the leader of the circus and he found her and that was the extent of their relationship. And, you know, he helped her along into sorting out her problems, but I feel like it would have made a better story if he wasn't like, you're mine, mine.
My pretty.
Because I really enjoyed the whole, like, everything has been sort of corrupted, and it makes you sort of think that because that it may be more of a dreamscape style world, like it's not, because the people who exist in it who are from the real world are all unconscious when they're in that world. It kind of gives you that vibe of maybe that whole world is more of a, like, connected dreamscape rather than an actual world that actually exists.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, like, Criminy is her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend that she's, like, sort of created as this person that she doesn't like but she likes, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, she realizes that he is bad for her, like her ex. They weren't married, were they? It's just boyfriend?
Yeah. I
It's
think
been a while.
were they
Yeah.
engaged or something? I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think they were engaged. I don't think they got married. But yeah, like, she realizes that he was bad, and then she gets in this new world, and it's like, I can start fresh. But then this guy that finds her to help her is, like, the guy that's almost exactly like her ex. And she's like, oh, but surely it'll be different here. So, you know what I mean? Like, maybe...
Yeah. I hate to actually tell you this, but unfortunately I know for a fact that's not actually what she intended. Sword and Laser has done an interview with the author, and I listened to it this morning. And she specifically says, A, that she wanted to write a relationship which was more like real-life relationships and was a slow falling in love relationship, and was a good guy who would give her freedom to be who she wanted to be, and that he was actually someone who appeared to her in a dream as a cross between Darcy and, can't remember who the other person was.
I think she
I'm
failed.
going to go with no. She really did fail on that. That was a big F on her behalf.
That's what I think too. I was listening to it, actually buy into what she was saying, and I was like, no, I read your book, honey. It did not come across like that at all.
So if people like your book thinking that it's a dreamscape or whatever, you let them believe that, because that's going to sell you more books.
Yeah. Don't tell them how you wrote it. Just let them guess.
Yeah.
Well, I must
believe what they believe.
Anytime I have someone now, anytime anyone says to me, oh, it came to me in a dream, all I can think of is Twilight, and I'm like, Jesus, that's not a good way to write a book.
Don't write it. Don't write it.
Yeah.
Came to me in a fanfiction dream.
It came to me a dream, and it started out as fan fiction. Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey, which was, well, Twilight fan fiction. There we go.
He said that he came to her in a dream, and she wrote the book so that she could keep spending time with him.
Wow.
So the other world really is a dream.
You need to have better dreams,
Her
lady.
dream.
Yeah.
Really, the problem isn't the book. The problem is that she thinks that that's how the real world functions. Because
Yeah.
she met this guy in her dreams and was like, I want to spend more time with this guy. I'm going to write about him. But no, honey, no.
That's not how the work works. Not only that, but the one thing that I did think was good was that she did not write this book intending it to be a romance. That was something her publisher convinced her to put into the story.
I think it would have been better without. Although the sexy times were fun, but I think it would have been a better story without.
Yeah. Especially because I don't think she quite understands the concept of slow falling in love.
Yeah. That generally doesn't start with a soulmate, we're meant to be together thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a slow build. That's pretty much bam, there you are.
Yeah. And I get that she's done it on one side, not both sides. But I'm sorry, but she was. Let me see. I actually pointed this out to my partner. I was sitting in bed and I'd gotten to, I believe it was chapter 5. In the space of 3 chapters, because the first 2 chapters were in Earthworld, not Sang. In the space of 3 chapters, she had arrived naked in a world that she doesn't know. She has been greeted by a gentleman who's acting weird and like he loves her and stuff. She's been accosted by a bunny which bit her. She discovers that the people in this world drink blood, and there are coppers after her. And she's been taken to this weird carnival place where there's all of these weird things. And yet she spends the majority of the time swooning over him.
Yeah.
I was like, I was trying so hard to switch my head off. I was like, just don't be hypercritical, Melanie. Don't be hypercritical. It's okay. It's just a silly romance book. Yeah.
That was basically how I got through the book so quickly. I was like, I just have to not think. I just need to read the whole book and then not think about it till I get to the end. And then I can think about it all I want.
Yeah. I must admit, the way I got through was I skimmed large swathes. After I got to roughly the halfway point, I was like, I'm not going to be able to finish this if I don't sort of just skim through. So I just skimmed until I found the important bits and read them.
The claws caressing her skin.
Oh, I did say the important bits. Of course I read the sex scenes.
Slow down for that bit.
Hello!
But, I have to say, I agree with Veronica on a couple of points. I really thought that him killing the stag was quite hot. And kicking the blood bunnies, where she's going, I just want to kick a blood bunny. And all the other girls are going, no! And I'm like, yes, I want to kick a blood bunny.
Yeah, I was totally down with that. I want a video game about killing the bunnies.
Yes.
I wish all the girls were like, there's that bit in that game, and I
down
never
with that.
had to kill the bunny.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
really?
totally down with kicking bunnies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I must admit, though, I don't think a game would do it enough for me because I feel like it would have to involve the full-on pressure to softness kick sound effect as you're going away.
That's when, like, you're playing on a console that vibrate and you're just like...
Even in World of Warcraft, Veronica's she's like, I've killed so many chickens in World of Warcraft. And it's funny because they make little noises when you kill them. So, like, you kill a squirrel or something and it goes... Chickens go... So they actually make noises once you hit them. That's hilarious. And then the rats go... So there is some kind of pleasure in killing the animals in World of Warcraft.
I can't say I'm one of those people. I play a night elf druid, and I've played her from the very beginning that she doesn't kill unless she absolutely has to. So I've never gotten into the whole killing things as you run around. I must admit, no, I'm not a hugger though. I don't.
That would make the rat kebab quest really hard.
I skip a lot of those sorts of ones. I tend to go.
Oh, there's one in the subway with all the rats. You know, you can stand there and you can there's a spawn point near the tunnels where you can pretty much just surround yourself with dead rats.
Yes.
But there's actually a quest in there where you can kill all the rats and give in the rat meat and get the recipe for rat kebabs.
Delicious.
But yeah, waiting for the tram, I killed a lot of rats in that one little spawn point, and it just like the tram would come and I'd just be surrounded in dead rats.
Although, to be fair, I must admit, I probably would deal with killing rats. It's usually the squirrels and things that I would have a problem with.
The cute animals.
Yeah, the cockroaches I'm good with too. Yeah, spiders. Yeah, go on, die. Not very druid-like of me, is it? No, admittedly, I still don't run around and kill those ones if I can avoid it. But yeah, I don't mind as much. I'm out of wine already. How did this happen?
I know I haven't got much
about
left.
the silly, stressful book first. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes. I have to say, there's some elements I liked. I like the Clockwork Guardians. And,
I really enjoyed those. They were cool.
The Ghost in the Lighthouse and the Submarine. Yeah, they had lots of little adventure elements and, you know, just running around. That was fun. But, yeah, Criminy just sort of ruined it. The romance part just sort of ruined the book. It's like, if she hadn't put that in there, it would have been great. I would have really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed the steampunk. Like, all of the, like, clockwork style stuff that they had going on was all really cool.
That was the first time I've actually liked a snake. I was like, yeah, I totally want a snake wristlet that comes up and protects me and bites things and stuff.
I like how she called it the
awesome.
first one Uro and the second one Boris.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I just feel like the publisher, instead of saying you should turn this into a romance, because obviously she's a female author and so she should write urban fantasy romance stories, I think she should have said to her, I think this is really good, but maybe we should develop the world a little bit more and put some more story happening in there. Why?
Because I'd really like to see what's going on with the world, like how they get rid of the corrupt people and like turn it into a world that functions.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Would be good.
Yes, they've killed the big.
Yeah.
She's killed the big bad guy, which I thought was really awesome. And when she comes out of the dream, comes out of saying, and she's like, right, I have to do this and that and that. And I'm like, she's going to go kill him. She is totally going to go and kill him. And she totally went and killed him. I'm like, yes, good on you.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how she did it, but that was pretty awesome, I agree.
Yeah, it was a very good, a very smart way to do it.
It's a very nurse way.
Although
to do
kind
it.
of
Like,
risky.
But yeah, no one liked him anyway. So.
Less risky than a lot of other drugs that she could have used to like
Yeah.
OD him on. Like ODing a patient on insulin is fairly easy to do. Like if you give someone way too much insulin, it's really easy to like kill somebody like that, and it can be let off as, oh well, they just misread the dose, it was an accident kind of thing. Whereas if you give someone a giant dose of like some sort of opiate, people are going to be like, no, what were you trying to do?
But I was so scared that they were going to discover him before she'd woken up and left. I was seriously worried about that and thought that...
I kept going, have you taken the necklace off yet? Have you taken the necklace off yet? Take the necklace off. I'm like, has she taken the necklace off if you're still wearing it? She's still, like, passing time, laying on the floor with a mouthful of blood.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but didn't you feel like the whole ending where she was just continuing to live in both worlds defied the whole concept of the beginning, that would be very difficult to do?
Yeah.
Well, she at least found out the knack that if she took the locket off, she could live in both worlds. She could actually get sleep by taking the locket off, because then she'd be at the same time. Like she could take it off at night, have a sleep, put it back on. Oh, she could sleep in one world without time passing in the other. So it sort of worked. And I had this feeling like, if that's what she wanted to do, then she'd probably just stay in the real world until her grandmother passed away, really, because it seemed like that was her only emotional tie to that world, was her grandmother. And there wasn't really any friends or other family, or there's no other family. There weren't any real friends that she had that she wanted to stick around for. So I'd imagine she'd probably end up, once her grandmother passed away, which probably would only be, a couple more years at most, really, considering her health, that she'd probably just stay in after that and maybe become a blooded. And so that's what I figure would probably happen if the story continued.
Yeah, well, that's what was implied, was that she would do that. There are further books, so if anybody wants to discover the truth.
The next one is about Casper. The from the other world,
Oh, right, is it? Okay. I must admit.
Yeah, it's not about her.
Well, I skimmed the sample. Yeah. I skimmed the sample at the end. It was about Casper living in the city. One of the cities.
I skimmed it, but I never got a name out of it. I was like, there's some...
Well, I pretty much skimmed it for a name, because I thought maybe it's someone from this book, and then I found his name, and I read a little bit of it, and apparently he's like, how she said he'd hit his low before he rose back up. So he's in the city, and I think he's playing music, and he's
he's playing music at a hall or a bar or something.
Like a complete drunk, so he's like hit his low. So I think it's from there him finding someone, and yeah.
I must admit, actually, I found the whole Casper storyline very sloppily thrown in to create a triangle. It didn't. I mean, I don't even understand how she felt any attachment to him, apart from general attraction, given that she barely spent any time with him.
I know, it seems sort of weird, and I'm like, I don't know why he felt any attraction towards her, or wanted, all of a sudden it's like, I'll fall in love with you and we can spend the rest of our life together. It's like, we spend like 10 minutes together, seriously.
Well, I think on his side it was more just flirting with a hot woman that comes from the world I'm from. She gets me, kind of thing.
Well, it started out that way, but very quickly, with very little time spent with her, I would say in total they may have spent 40 minutes together. He seemed to be proposing to her and suggesting they run away together. I'm like, that's worse than an arranged marriage.
I partly felt he was trying to, like, take her away, as in take her away from Criminy and take her away from the sort of situation they were in.
Fair point.
Like, if they're
Maybe
both going to be stuck in
to
this world, perhaps then they're sort of protected, sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all I can think of is that maybe they... Sorry.
Maybe he felt more connected to her because, like, she was the only one he knew from his old world, and maybe he felt very alone and just sort of, all of a sudden there's this woman who understands him and comes from his world and wants to be really close to her. So maybe he was mixing up his own feelings, or just maybe he was just really desperate.
Yeah,
I suppose,
like,
maybe
he gets my jokes, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it kind of like when you go traveling and then you meet someone from like the same country, and all of a sudden you kind of like it's an instant friendship because you're both from the same place? It's like
Probably
someone
true.
who gets me and understands me.
Yeah.
I can see it from that point of view. I think to be fair to the author and to be honest with myself, I was so bogged down in the whole concept of why would she be interested in these men, because he's been in this bad situation, like really bad situation. I've seen the results of that with my sister, and you don't sort of suddenly feel like it's okay when there's a little bit of controlling. No. You're like the complete opposite of rejecting it or still submissive to it all. There's not a lot of in between there as far as I can tell. And I just felt like she was just too accepting of all of that, and so I think that perhaps turned me off all the possibility of the guys in there. I was like, there shouldn't be a romance at all in this story. She's not ready for it. That might have been my own bias.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, I thought that too. I'm like, she's just out of a horrible relationship where she realized this guy was controlling her whole life, and she's like, oh, maybe I want some space. No, maybe I don't. Like, you need some space, lady. You need some space.
Well, I found it really surprising with the whole Casper thing where she was like, oh, but it's my choice to do the fortune-telling thing. And I'm like, no, you kind of just got told to do that by Criminy. What's the difference? Anyway, I'm being hypercritical too. I'm very critical of this book. I find it interesting, but I actually think it's worse when I give a book 2 stars than when I give it 1 star. I don't know why, but maybe it's because 1 star to me means I probably didn't even finish it, and so that means I didn't push my way through and still hate it that much. I don't know what it is. 2 stars to me is like the worst of things. I need more wine. I'm going to go get more wine, guys. Keep chatting.
Okay. Okay.
Is there anything more to talk about in there?
Oh, I could probably think of something if I'd read the book.
There was like a little. There was the witch or whatever she was. There was a witch that sort of just showed up when they were stopped in the middle of nowhere to go to sleep, and she made like over the Wizard of Oz references, and he's like, she's just, don't listen to her. She talks absolute nonsense sometimes. It's just like, so what do I do? Just click my heels together 3 times? And she's like, you understood that? Yeah. Like, she's got a secret. She knows what's going on for once, rather than him just, no, this is how it works. So what happens here? What? He just annoyed me so much. Like, oh, are we talking about him again? We're not talking about him again. All right, I'll just go get another glass of wine, but I'll still be here because it's only over there.
Oh, that's what I need is a good set of headphones. I've asked for some for Christmas. I don't know whether it's going to happen.
These are, what are these ones? Belkin, I think? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. I want something I can use. I don't want over the ear ones. I want in ear ones that I can use for doing bike riding and running and things.
I've got I'm just wondering where I've put my headphones. These are the ones I've got. Philips.
Ah, do they have a
they're pretty comfortable when they stay in.
Do they have a microphone?
No, they don't. But I like the earpiece because you get some of these and the earpiece sort of shoots out straight that way, and this actually goes that way. And the ones that shoot that way, they are not comfortable, so you don't want ones that do that. But I find that they stay relatively in my ears without having to like jam them right in, and they actually stay there because this bit moves up and down as well.
Yeah.
So you can actually.
Cool.
But something like that, if you get a bike ride or something.
Yeah, that's what I want. But the trick is that it has to have a microphone as well because I want it to be able to use on my phone. Because I'm slightly hard of, I've slightly got a hearing problem. I'm borderline needing hearing aids, and so for me on the phone, I'm much better when I use a headset than when I use the phone direct. And so I want something that I can just basically keep in my ears and when I'm out and about and doing things, and it'll hook into my phone and my computer and all of that. So I've got to find the right pair. It's a bit of a search. Nye thinks he's found something for me, but we'll see. It's present, so I have to not look too closely.
Hopefully it doesn't wrap it in like, one year I found all my Christmas presents under Mum's bed and knew what most of them was because she bought cheap wrapping paper. You could see right through it.
No, it's pretty good. He won't put my
Day wasn't very exciting because I knew what everything was before I opened it.
My presents with Nye, I never know what they are before I get them because he won't let me see them. He always puts them very far, like very hidden, or he keeps them at the office or something along those lines. And he won't even put them underneath a tree because he knows that I'll go and play with it and fiddle with it to figure out what it is. So I'm bad that way. I'm the person who's going, it feels like this. I can see a letter through the wrapping paper.
It's double wrap it. What was it when my ex got a present from his cousin called him and goes, oh, come straight home, I've got a present for you. So he comes home and she goes, sit on the couch. He goes, he sat on the couch and she's got this box and she gives him this box and he goes, what is it? She goes, you have to look. And he goes to shake it. She goes, don't shake it. And she's like, and this little head pops out and there's this little kid. It's like, don't shake it, don't shake it.
Oh no. Oh dear. All right, guys. Is there anything else we want to talk about with Wicked as They Come, or do we want to move on to the alt?
No, not really. Not that I can think of.
So we've bagged it out enough, and we've addressed its few good points, and we're happy, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So I haven't read the alt, so you guys are just going to have to go for it.
Woo! I read it. I finished it today.
Yeah. Yeah, so did I. I finished it when I got home. Well, I started it Saturday night, so I pretty much read it in 3 sittings, so it was definitely much better than the alt.
Oh, actually, there was a couple of things I didn't like, but in general, I actually really enjoyed it.
Does someone have a copy they can hold up so if anybody's watching it, they know what we're talking about?
Reading it on my tablet.
There we go. I'll click on that. Sorry, just a sec.
Yeah.
Kiss of Steel.
Oh, beautiful.
Kiss of Steel by Beck McMaster.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't actually remember what happened
right after
in this book. I've read all of the books from last month. I've read like the whole season of the main book, like the whole series of the main book up until like what's just been released like 2 months ago. I don't actually
Wow.
remember what happens in this book. Yeah, I may have worked out that I liked the book a lot, and now I've read all of them. I need a slight refresher, so if you guys want to go first, and then I'm sure that'll jog my memory.
Okay. Okay. Who?
You go back. Go back.
Okay. No, I really liked it. Although I kept forgetting that it was supposed to be London. Like, I don't know, something about the way she like designed the world. I kept forgetting that it was London, and kept thinking of it as a kind of like an alternate, more like fantasy world. I liked the guy. I liked Blade because, except for one point when he was like thinking mine, through the rest of it he was very like understanding, and he kind of like held off, and he was a lot nicer than a lot of the guys in some of these books. But she annoyed me a little bit because I don't like her type of character. But apart from that, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a lot as well. It was, after reading Wicked as They Come, I flew through this one. I'm just like, oh, finally finished that one. I started reading this one, like, so much better. It far outstrips the other one. I
you just want to read the next.
I can't think of anything that really annoyed me too much. But it had a lot of good points. It was a very solid storyline, and had a lot of stuff happening, and I was relating it to another book, but I can't remember what it was now while I was reading it, and I've just completely forgotten.
Yeah.
But probably another one we've read in Vaginal Fantasy. But yeah, mostly I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed that there were quite a few of them. That's one of the things Wicked as They Come sort of lacked, that it didn't really focus very much on the other characters. There was just sort of a side piece, very much a side piece, whereas this one you really got to see them in detail. Oh, and that's what I was comparing to Vampire. The vampire was actually a monster again, rather than, you had the blue bloods, which are people
it was
with
like
the
both
virus
sides of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had the vampires, which were evil creatures who had lost their humanity and gone over to the other side. And I love the whole thing that there was this research, like her father did the research, and that he wasn't the golden guy either. He wasn't the perfect character at all. She was probably the most Blade and her are probably the best characters in it. Even her father had all these ulterior motives and did these really bad things that she finds out, and she's like, but the whole not political, but the whole dynamic where you've got the blue bloods and they're so caught up in their political backstabbing and everything, and Blade's just out there going, oh God, I hate them all. You have to like Blade for that. I liked his character a lot. Except I found the cover image very, very deceiving, because he's supposed to be blonde, and in the cover image he's got dark brown hair.
I didn't think of it being blonde at all.
Once they're infected, like their skin gets paler and their hair goes blonde and everything like that. So it actually says that his hair is blonde, and I'm like, no, not on the cover, it's not.
I remember there's actually a line where he's thinking that his hair is getting lighter and his skin's getting paler, but I still didn't register that when I was reading it. I still imagined him having darker hair because I think that's sexier.
I do that a lot with myself.
I have to say, the only guy I could, with all his, his accent, that London accent and everything, I just watched Constantine. So I kept imagining Matt Ryan from Constantine as this guy. I'm like, probably not in the trench coat and red tie, but, that accent and that sort of hair, because the guy on the cover sort of has that same kind of hair. But I'm like, I just kept imagining John Constantine. Okay, except he doesn't have a fag. Actually, I don't even think in the series he doesn't smoke so far, which someone pointed out the other day. They're like, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't have a cigarette in his mouth, and there was something else they were complaining about. I'm like, that's PCTV for you, but also the
a little bit too. Guys, Bethany's actually watching us and chatting in Skype. She basically said she's read half the book. This is the alt. She's read half of it, and she says it's not bad. I didn't really like Blade, right? Okay, Blade, right. Wasn't sure if it was the E or the L that was wrong there. So, yep. I didn't really like Blade. Was just a bit passive aggressive, but liked the world, but still a bit to go.
I won't spoil the really good ending or the whole vampire thing then. She knows what the vampire looks. She knows about the vampire, and now she's halfway through it.
If she's watching, she mustn't care about the spoilers. Sorry, Bethany, I hope that you don't, but I assume if you're watching, you don't care. So.
But yeah, it had a whole, at least she was a strong woman, and although she was very prideful, at least in the end, not in the end, she admitted that she'd done the wrong thing and she should have done this differently, and that she had too much pride. Yeah, at least she knew her faults.
Because, I hate when characters are they're just really dumb about things. Like, when they should ask for help, they don't, or they just let their stubborn pride get in the way of doing the smart thing. Yeah. Or they have to go no, you have to do it this way because I'm always right. And I'm just like, no.
But she does squelch her pride pretty early on in it when push comes to shove, and she's just desperate. She does, right, I've got too much pride. I need to do this no matter what it costs me. This is my family, and so she does take a lot of hits she does sacrifice a lot.
I did like her better in the end.
Yeah.
And I hated her sister at first. I'll admit that. I hated her. And then...
Yeah, I didn't like her at first, but yeah, she did get
then you get to that bit near the end when she's she's trying to explain to her, she's like, well, you like this guy. You have feelings for him. Just do it. Just go for it.
And she's like, but you and Charlie, and she's like, oh, for God's sake, we're fine. Just
we can do this. Just go do this, guy, because you want to do it. Just you want to. Just go for it.
If a 14-year-old can see that you want to be with him, then you've probably been fairly obvious about it.
I love how she gloats over the fact that she's smarter. That's such a family thing, brother sisterly thing. It's like, haha, I'm smarter than you, and she sort of gloats over knowing. Yeah. Telling her what to do, and Honoria what to do, and being right about it, and she has to admit that. She's like, ha ha, I know more than you.
Yeah, and that that's a very little sibling thing to do. Like, ha ha ha, I knew before you did.
Especially when you're the younger one.
So Bethany said that she's listening to the audiobook, and apparently Blade sounds horrible in the audiobook. His accent gets on her nerves, and he doesn't sound like Constantine.
I think I did. Then that would have been horrible. Yeah, I was going to listen to some of the audiobook, but I didn't in the end. So I'm glad I didn't now. That's one of the things I want to read it. I was listening to something on audiobook. I think maybe it was some of The Lions of Arasan.
Oh, yeah.
And it had some of the guys with the Mexican-sounding name, the Spanish name. It had his voice in a Spanish accent. I'm like, this just sounds ridiculous. He's not Spanish. It's just really weird. And I'm like, I can't get into it. I know that his name sounds Spanish, but there's no Spanish. They made no relation to a Spanish sort of sounding or acting culture. So it sort of irked me that they made that guy's voice Spanish. That's something a bad thing about some audiobooks is you can't get over some of the voices.
Yeah,
it ruins it sometimes. The voices just not completely sound wrong for what you think they should be. Yeah.
Yeah. They it's definitely something that I find I really have to check thoroughly the samples before I go ahead. And I'll read the reviews, and not just the reviews about the story, but the reviews about the performance, because I think that it makes a massive difference, not only to how you view some characters, but also just to how the book's interpreted too. Like, certain ways of reading sentences can change meanings. So,
yeah.
I listened to a lot of Wise Man's Fear on audiobook, and there's 2 versions of that, so I read the reviews. I was going to go with the older guy, but people had complete split opinions on it. It's like, no, I don't like him, I like the younger guy, and the other one's like, no, I don't like the younger guy, I like the older guy. I'm like,
See, that
and they
could go
start
both ways.
arguing about, because of his age, the age of the character, that they liked the younger guy more because it sounded more like he should be that age. And that's sort of where you go, yeah, maybe that's a better one, though. The voices are definitely a big thing in audiobooks, the way they do the character voices.
Yeah.
But like, you could argue for the other direction of being an older guy for it being Koth when he's older and he's actually telling the story. So, no,
Yeah, but then we were debating about how old Koth actually was, where we didn't think he was very old anyway. So that's one of the arguments that came up. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how old you mean by older guy, so that makes a difference. Yeah.
Well, you know, the older guy was probably in his 40s or 50s. Whereas the younger guy was probably in his 20s or 30s.
Fair point. Actually, speaking of an audiobook that I really enjoyed, the Night Circus one, it took me a little bit to get used to it, but God, he was good. He did such a good job with the voices. I always knew exactly who was talking just by his voice acting. It was wonderful.
That makes me want to listen to some of the. I haven't listened to any of the Neil Gaiman production ones yet. But that makes me, that's one of the things where they do the whole, background sound, so they're closer to the sort of the BBC radio shows.
Yeah, they did
the
it
way
for that.
they do it than it is. It's just.
What was the one we read that was it was the gay romance one? Swords Point.
Yeah,
they did it for that one.
Yeah, they did it for that. I didn't listen to that one, but I didn't read that at all. But yeah. That's where I started to hear that sort of thing, and then I heard that Neil Gaiman actually does several of them where he's actually got a production company, that he's actually got a business that does it.
I'd like to try it because I'm not sure. I do actually like audiobooks. When I'm driving, I don't listen to music anymore. I listen to podcasts and audiobooks. So I'd be interested to know. Oh God, Jesus Christ, the wine. I'd be interested to know how it goes.
Well, now that the weather's warmed up, I've started thinking about going walking again, because, when it's cold and wet, nobody wants to do that. But I'm thinking about getting some audiobooks and listening to them as I walk rather than music, because sometimes I get sick of music.
Yeah. That's why I've stopped. I found that unless I'm actively engaged with the music, i.e. singing rather loudly, I start to fall asleep with music. I used to think it was just slow music or, instrumental music and stuff, but no. Seems to be working on all music now, and if I really have to stay awake, the best thing is for me to have something where I have to actually engage to listen. So podcasts and audiobooks are ideal for it.
Yeah.
My partner's the complete opposite. He's like, I fall asleep. I try to switch off.
Years ago, I remember falling asleep on a couch under my boyfriend's jacket, like suit jacket. I was curled up in a little ball while they were playing Rock Band right in front of me. And I still fell asleep, and it wasn't that late. It was only about midnight. Early 20s. And then like, is she asleep? Yeah, she's asleep. Is she seriously just curled up in a ball under your jacket? Yes. Yeah. She does that.
Kim, I hate to say it, but I think you might be an introvert. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
All right. Bethany has just mentioned, good thing is if you don't like the audio book, you can return it and get the credit back.
Oh, awesome. That sounds good.
Yeah. I've only actually not liked, like severely not liked, and I don't count Anna Karenina because it wasn't
That's just a book.
Oh, it was. Let's not go there. Anyway, I've only actually seriously not liked the book once, and that was a Piers Anthony one that G was absolutely adamant everybody would love. From the it was the first one of that series with the god creatures, so it's kind of like what Neil Gaiman does with blah 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 with the Sandman series, where there's death and dream. He does those characters in a series of books, and the first one is death. and we listened to that on the road driving to Tamworth, so a 2-day drive on the car. We didn't even get a quarter of the way through before we were just like, oh my God, I didn't realise how sexist Piers Anthony is.
Very. I think you'll find the answer to that question is very.
Every sentence is like looking at her perky boobs, and I'm like, what the fuck? We didn't finish it then because my partner couldn't be able to listen to it, but I was like, I'm going to finish it. He recommended it, and surely if Georgia recommended it, there must be a reason. It must be awesome. So I listened to it all the way through, trying to figure out what was so good about it. I was like, okay, I can see good points, but I was sorry, I just can't deal with the sexism.
Yeah, no. Piers Anthony is very, very sexist. Very.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me. She got a shout out on, well, not a shout out, mention for one of her Twitter tweets on by Felicia in the Hangout.
She gets one every week. Haven't you noticed that?
I know she does. She's gotten a couple that I've heard that I can remember.
She's had almost. I think
because she's actually home when the Hangout's.
Yeah, at minimum the last 3. I think it might have been a longer streak than that, but at minimum the last 3 she's had a mention. It's usually Bonnie that does it, because Bonnie notices her tweets more often. But so, Felicia is a step up in the rung of, vaginal fantasy. Go G.
See, I would probably actually use my Twitter account if it was actually home for them. That's about the only thing
I don't spend a lot of time tweeting in that, but one of the things I do use it for is actually tweeting at authors, because when I finish a book and I really like it, I know that probably my review probably gets lost in the many thousands of reviews on the book, so I send them a tweet to say, hey, thanks for your book, it was wonderful, and I find I'm more likely to actually get a response there than I am anywhere else. So I love actually doing it.
Yeah, that's amazing. First time I ever did that, I got one back, and I was like, ah!
Well, I've now got Nancy Rainey Roberts and Kate Forsyth following me on Twitter. I'm like,
oh wow.
See, I don't tweet because I don't like my Twitter handle and I can't think of anything.
I love mine.
Well, I created mine specifically for this sort of interaction because I've had previous Twitter handles, and they were based around work stuff, and so this time I created this one specifically for all of this. That was its purpose, because everybody was saying, hey, you need to get on Twitter to talk to everybody and do vaginal fantasy chat and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll create one. And now I'm like, yes, all of the authors, you will follow me.
What really annoys me is I looked up at my name and the account is inactive, and I'm like, no, release it. I want at my name.
It's inactive because someone owns it, but they're not using it.
Yeah, so it's listed as inactive because obviously they haven't used it in so long, but it hasn't been released.
Ah, is it like Kim or Kimberly, or is it like your full name?
Kimberly Brooks, my entire name spelt that way.
Oh, that's such a shame. See, I can't actually use my actual name. That would be really bad of me to do. Although I do have mine, but I used it for professional reasons. So I have Mel Eggins for my professional one, but I also claimed that really early on. But I can't use it for personal stuff at all because I have a stalker. I don't want to use it for my personal stuff. I don't want him to know where I am. As it is, I've changed my handle. I use it online for everywhere because he knows my old one. So,
unfortunately, there are creeps like that in the world.
Oh yeah, I used to date him. That's the worst bit.
Hate
creeps like that. Like, take a hint, dude. You've been told for a while. I haven't even spoken to you for 4 years. Stop freaking emailing me. Anyway.
Yeah.
Because I am such a hot commodity.
Yeah. Yeah, well, one of the guys that I cut ties with, he was actually my best friend's boyfriend. So, yeah, I sort of, had to, and that didn't end up well for him. Yeah, so.
No. Yeah.
Luckily, better for her, she's got a much better quality of, much better life now because he wasn't, he was probably her first serious partner, and she lived with him. And then, after, everything falls apart, things sort of come out, and it's like, she's happy now. She lives a lovely life. She's got a partner, and she's really happy. And it's like, oh, good. Well, that's the silver lining. You have to see the silver lining sometimes, don't you?
Yeah. But that's the thing that I always find, like, reading a lot of romances and things where they have these long, convoluted, histories together. And I'm like, do you not realise that perhaps it might be just easier to move on? Find someone that treats you right from the beginning? Stunning idea.
Unless it's persuasion.
Yeah, well, that's
Unless
right.
it's persuasion.
Yeah, persuasion is the exception. I do love persuasion. But persuasion is the exception because he never really did anything wrong. And it wasn't like he was treating her badly. It was just poor timing for them. She hadn't
I love that book. I've read it like 3 times. I love
Only
it.
3? Oh my gosh, we need to, talk persuasion. I am an addict of persuasion.
He's my favourite Jane Austen man.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm
my favourite. He's so much better than Darcy.
I love them all, but give me the captain every time.
Yep. Yep. I'm with you there.
So spoon-worthy.
Yes.
I think I got to weigh down the car when we go away for Christmas with books again this year. That's one good thing about taking the car. I don't have to worry about how to be book safe.
See, my problem with that,
like 5 or 6 the last time I went, but a couple of graphic novels. So
I always do that, but my problem is always the exchange book. I'm like, okay, I've got a book. I know that it's there. I just don't know what it is yet. Now, do I want to take that and know that I'm going to read it and count that as one of my spare books, or do I take enough books to make sure that I know that I've got enough in case I'm not ready to read that one right away? What do I do here?
Well, like I see my 3-year-old nephew, usually it's reading on the way there and reading on the way back, and if I get time from him and he doesn't realise I've disappeared for a minute, then I can read. My mum just came back from seeing him. She said, be ready to be woken up at 6 a.m. in the morning with, it's sunny time.
Yeah.
Nanny, can you get me ready in the morning? You have a teddy? No, I don't have a teddy. I'll get you one. Everybody's going to have a teddy to sleep with.
Well, I'm going to be away for a week and a half for my trip, so I'll probably take somewhere around 4 or 5 books with the intention of reading all of them. Except for we're going to have 20 family members there this year, and my chances of reading are so slim. And that's what always happens. I end up taking all these books, but there's so much family time you can't read.
When we go, because we go to just past Melbourne, Morwell near Traralgon.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually stay. It's usually a 2-day drive. So 2-day drive there, 2-day drive back. So there's plenty of time for me to sit and read. And I'm fine in the car. I don't get motion sickness or anything, so I just get bored. So if I'm not asleep, I'm reading. If I'm not asleep or in a zone that has in a zone that has 3G and not in a dead spot on the highway, I'm reading.
Yep. Basically, that's when I have to do audiobooks because I do get car sick from reading in the car, although I'm better than I used to be. So I'm already prepared. I have got, let's see, I've forgotten what I actually downloaded, so we've got to check now. Here we go. I have got, can you even see that? No. Okay.
Right.
I've got The Martian. I've got The Martian by Andy Weir and Ready Player One ready to go. Will Wheaton narrating. Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
2 days in the car, give me some Will Wheaton. Nerdtastic heaven. All right, guys. Has anybody got anything else from the books that we want to talk about?
I'm sure there is. I can't think of anything.
Sorry, I just looked at my Facebook page and my dad's done a How Girly Are You survey. 43% girly. Just sitting at the top.
I'm not a girly girl. I get something like 20%.
Well, my cousin got 33%, and she likes squeezing pus out of things. She's a nurse now, so.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't.
They've actually posted the books for next month early. Yay! Finally started doing it. Felicia probably start doing it. So they're up as underneath the 2 reads list. It looks like we're doing werewolves next month. And Charlene Harris is one of the authors.
Ooh, which book?
Ah.
Jane and Mistletoe. Actually, this looks like an anthology.
Oh.
There we go. Wolfsbane and Mistletoe and a seal wolf.
I wonder if
I'm
this
guessing
is not
that's
right.
a seal as in Navy SEAL. A seal of Christmas. It's Christmas themed. It's werewolf Christmas themed.
Werewolf Christmas.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. The question is, wow, a seal wolf Christmas is number 12 in the series.
I'm guessing. I wonder if they're short books, because usually Christmas ones are like short ones. So 340 pages for Wolfsbane and Mistletoe, and 311 pages for a seal wolf. I guess they're not very long. Yeah, not too bad.
Wolfsbane and Mistletoe has got like 4 or 5 stories in it.
Ah, so it's
So maybe it's a short story anthology.
Yeah, it's an anthology of authors. So you've got Charlene Harris, Patricia Briggs, Kerry Arthur, and Carrie.
Oh no, there's heaps. There's heaps more.
Oh,
There's 1,
wow.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you on the thing.
On the I can see what you're talking about.
I think I have that book at home.
Oh,
So I can't check my shelf, but I think I have that book at home. It sounds familiar.
there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stories.
Yeah,
Or 15 and an introduction, sorry. 15
they've got the top 4 on the cover, and then underneath that it says under and others.
Yeah, it's just if your extender's got the contents. So introduction and 15 stories.
Bethany says that she doesn't think it's right. I'm waiting. She hasn't finished responding about it, but she doesn't think it's right. We'll see. But it is actually underneath the 2 reads. But I mean, it is possible that it's been set up by accident by someone else. I don't know if that's possible, but the fact that they seem to have a theme and match seems. Okay, Bethany, not for this month. They're for December. That's fine.
Yeah, sorry. It's Mind Games and Karma Girl for next month, and then Wolfsbane and Mistletoe and Seal of Christmas for the month after.
Yeah, and that would make sense because it's Christmas themed, and they seem to have across the same sort of concept of being werewolves, which is something that we know they're trying to focus on now, is having those themes very strongly. Because they did that in the beginning, but then they sort of got very lax about it, and now because of the stuff that they want to do. With the podcast and that, I think they want to bring back the whole concept of the themes more strongly. Yeah. So that would make a lot of sense. So yeah, I'm going to guess that Felicia has actually set these up.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I'd say they must be. I can't see. I don't know where it's got anything in the.
Is there any way to see who actually put it there? That's the question.
If it's on the Goodreads thing, it should say who set it up, doesn't it?
I'm just looking now to see if I can tell. Editor, contributor.
I'm about to lose battery power, so if I suddenly disconnect, it's because my phone went flat.
Okay.
No, I'm plugged in. I'm being told I have to be plugged into something with some juice. That'll save me.
Yeah.
Because I'm currently just plugged into my laptop, but apparently that's not enough juice.
No, not for video. That video really drains.
Yeah, it does.
No, I can't see. I can't see who's actually added them on anywhere. I'm not sure if I'm missing it or if it's there.
I'm sure it is. I mean, I can't see anything in the forum part there that's posted to say they've done it, but I can't imagine they would have done it accidentally.
Yeah, well, the reason I'm going to say it's definitely correct based on the fact that it's the match. I think that that's that easily.
Still saying.
You're
to add them on early, so
really fragmented.
I don't know.
Did I? Oh, sorry. Oops. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now you sound normal.
Okay, good. I was just saying, I'm willing to say that they're right, just purely based on the fact that they have a theme and they match them up. I think that that's enough reason to call that it's a Felicia ad. But I wasn't expecting her to give us this much time, so that's very nice.
It's a lot of time,
Yeah.
but I guess they discussed it and decided to put it up as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, I mean,
maybe
it makes sense that it's Christmas themed because they'll discuss it in December.
or maybe she's afraid that it'll take people a while to get them. Like maybe they're not available in most countries. Like we can only get them from the States or something.
Well, I mean, that's something that people have been saying on the forums. I've even chimed in a couple of times to just say, hey, this is an issue we sometimes have, because we can often get the book, we just can't always get the ebook, and so it's just a matter of having time to be able to order it from overseas. I was only expecting
if they're organised, it doesn't affect them anyway if they're organised to put up 2 lots of the current month's and the next month's in a month's time ones. So as long as they just need to get organised to do it.
Well, I can see a reason for avoiding it, because I know on Sword and Laser, sometimes as soon as they start posting, they post the book, people start talking about it straight away, and it's like, no, come on, just 1 week, and see a reason for that. But I'm sort of like, you know what, an international book club needs to override the fact that some people might jump in too soon. So
yeah, and if people jump in too soon, just if you're not up to that point, then just don't read the forum part that has that in there. It's exactly pretty simple for people.
Yeah. One of the things I do think we should adopt, though, for the group is something that we do in Sword and Laser. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but in Sword and Laser what they do is when they post a forum title, a title and a discussion, they put the initials for the book at the beginning, dash then what they want to actually call the discussion. That way people know when they're looking at their notifications that it's actually about a specific book and that it might have spoilers, so they don't just click on it to see what's going on.
Yeah. I don't get any posts from there at the moment. I always forget to read them, and by the time I get to read them, they're so long I'm sort of like, oh, I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
I just wait for the hangout.
I find our hangouts are enough discussion for me, so I don't read them very often.
If you watch their hangouts, they tend to have read the forums themselves and picked out the important questions, the important points, and they'll reiterate them. So it doesn't seem like. Sometimes I might skim it if I've finished the book, before the hangouts done, which is not often.
Yeah, that's not going to be happening for me for a while.
But because by the time they get to it, there's so many pages, it just seems like so much work.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Unless you read the book early or have read the book when they announce it and get in very early into the discussion, it's just too much to catch up on, because instead of doing lots of different topics, they tend to only have like a couple, and you're like, let's break this down a little bit more, people.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fine, because I have you lovely folks to talk to about the books, so it suits my needs perfectly.
Aww.
Yeah, very much.
Oh, that's good.
Nope. It's not charging, or it's my phone went dead.
We lost her, I think. But anyway, the good news is Mind Games, the next book, the book for this month, I got from my library. So it looks like it's about in Australia, so that's really nice. Although then again, they also had this one, and nobody else could get it in Australia. So.
Well, you're in Victoria, which is a sort of a more common place to find things. Definitely not in Adelaide.
Okay, yeah, well.
Oh, my friend was really one of my friends on Facebook. I haven't seen him in years, but I keep him on Facebook. Him and one of his friends did a graphic novel, and he went into the library where he lives and looked in the graphic novel section and almost dropped all his things because his comic was sitting there.
Oh, that's so cool.
So there's already 2 places to sell it. I imagine they got it because Pulp Fiction Comics in Adelaide sell it, and they just they sell to the libraries. And also Melbourne has it, and it's called Dead Ends. And it's stories about I haven't read it yet. I'm going to loan it out at the library, and if I like it, I'll buy a copy. So they're the only two places that have it at the moment. So they've been doing panels and on, invited to things and everything. So very good for them.
Is this something that you might be choosing for your Land Down Under choice, perhaps?
I don't know. I think I'll have to read it first, but it's going to be hard for everyone to get, which is the problem. So I wouldn't want to pick something that's going to be really hard for everyone to get.
Fair point.
Because there's only two places that sell it. Fables of Loss and Mortality. So I don't know how cheery it's going to be, whether it's going to have humour or that. They are, really good guys and funny. They're also Christians, so I don't know whether it's going to be sort of, have a bit of religion in there or not. So I figured I'll put it on hold at the library when I get around to it and have a read of it.
Personally, I think anything's an improvement over Sandman, so, Dear me, that book. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap us up then. Naomi, have you tried talking? I haven't seen you actually talk.
Hi. Is it still working? Sorry, I had to go back to my laptop, so...
Yeah, no, it's
It's
okay.
working at the moment.
Yeah. We're wrapping us up anyway because, I've had 3 glasses, well, the equivalent of 3 glasses of wine now. I'm drunk. There's a reason I like 21 like Felicia. I'm a lightweight. Anyway. Bedtimes. Okay. All right, guys. So wrapping us up. Is there anything else anybody would like to talk about before I do that?
No, I'm going to go play Destiny. Yeah.
I'm going to go read. Maybe I'll go read the
thanks
Android stream.
Sorry, Naomi, what did you say?
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that gave... thanks to everyone that gave me recommendations of places and nerd shops to go to in Melbourne. I went to Minotaur, Critical Hit, and something comics today. All Star Comics.
Awesome.
Oh, yes. Yes, I just mentioned them.
That's really good. All right. Okay, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good week. I'll see some of you shortly, I'm sure. Otherwise, I will see some of you maybe whenever it is that you get back here. All right. Take care of yourselves. Night, guys.
Bye.
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 Night.